Hey, what's going on, you guys? Mr. 21235 back here yet again for another classic album review. Dwight Yoakam, guitars, Cadillacs, etc., etc. I don't talk about a whole lot of country music on this channel, as you guys know, so I thought it was about time to change that once again. I got the Bob Marley, some reggae on here. Now we need to talk about some country, because country music these days is absolute bullshit. I'm also going to use this classic album review as an opportunity to talk to you guys about what I think about country music today. Artists like Frank Foster, Jason Aldean, Chris Rice, these artists are essentially like making country music into like some type of weird pop mix-up. And honestly, a whole lot of these songs sound exactly the same. But the thing I find most disturbing about today's country music is it doesn't really have that much soul anymore. Things have gotten just a little bit more commercial nowadays with country music, and I think it's kind of destroying the genre. And I'm not going to say that there's nobody who loves these artists. I'm sure there's 1,000 fucking fans who love this music. But honestly, country music of the past had a whole lot more going for it. There seemed to be a whole lot more artists that could kind of, you could tell the difference between them judging by their voice or their musical style, or, just, there was something about it that was just so much better. Alan Jackson, Dwight Yoakam, Hank Williams, Randy Travis, The Mavericks, Loretta Lynn, Conway Twitty, Asleep at the Wheel. These artists just had so much more going for them, and I feel like this music was just so much more handmade, so not over-the-top produced. It was just classic country style. And honestly, thanks to the old country, I have found a love for this genre. So far, I have not found a today country artist that I can really enjoy. It all sounds way overproduced, and some of the lyrical content of some of these country songs is just totally stupid. I've been listening to a few albums lately in this genre with the older artists that I could be reviewing, but I'm going to stick with Dwight Yoakam's Guitars and Cadillacs because this is a huge one for me personally, and this was Dwight's debut album. It was a huge success back in the day. This album was released in 1986, and it's a pretty killer record. Another thing I like about this Dwight Yoakam album is that it mixes in a little bit more electric guitar instrumentation in there, along with the violins and the string sections, which is another good reason to like country music of the past. There's a whole lot more going on in there. The first song, Honky Tonk Man, is just so cool. I love how the guitar sounds in this track. It's fun, it's catchy, and Dwight just has this signature voice. You just know it's him when you hear him. I remember my dad had Dwight playing all throughout the house when I was a little kid, man. He loved this guy. It Won't Hurt is just another really great timeless drinking song like you hear in country music a whole lot from the past and in these days. It won't hurt when I fall down from this bar stool. Just classic country lyrics there. I'll Be Gone is another upbeat, really fast tempo song, really, really cool. Bury Me has this awesome female duet thing going on with it that sounds really, really nice, and I love the lyrics to this track as well. Guitars and Cadillacs, the title song to this record, just so much fun to listen to this track. The lyrical content, I just love how the chorus goes. It's so catchy, so fun to sing along to. The violins, the steel guitars, acoustic guitars, Dwight's voice, it all sounds so crystal clear and so real. It sounds like people are actually playing these instruments, which is really awesome. 20 Years is a really cool song lyrically, just talking about this guy who got convicted of 20 years to a crime that he did not do. And it's just really cool to hear that type of storytelling. There's also a cover of Ring of Fire on this thing from Johnny Cash, which sounds really good. In my opinion, not as good as the original, but it sounds really cool. All in all, it's just a really fun country album. It was a huge success for Dwight Yoakam, this being his debut album. And I would definitely recommend that you guys go and check out some older country albums. This Greatest Hits albums from Loretta Lynn here actually ended up on Rolling Stone's top 500 albums of all time, which is really interesting, and I've listened to a few cuts from it. And man, she has some timeless songs, really catchy, really fun. I also love going on YouTube and looking at like footage from these old TV shows where they would have the musical artists come on, and it's some country artists from back in the past, and watching those live performances just so much talent these guys had back in the day. During this entire time that I've been doing Classics Week, I've just been experiencing so many classic albums that I had not heard before, and it's making me want to extend this series even further because honestly, I'm getting back into that point now where I'm thinking music from the past just had so much more soul to it, so much more energy. Today's music has it too. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that everything from today is absolute shit, even though I feel like I come off that way. I just feel like you have to dive really deep down underneath everything mainstream to get to it. If I seriously thought that music today was all shit, then I would not be reviewing any new albums that ever came out. So It's not true. I really don't think that, even though I feel like I come off that way. I just think people should be paying some respects. People have got to understand that what they were listening to today probably wouldn't be possible without these artists from the past. I'm going to be talking about a newer album next. I'm sorry, some people might be getting a little bit sick of these classic album reviews, but I'm having a ton of fun doing them, even though they're not getting that many views, and I know why. People don't care anymore. These albums aren't really that important nowadays, but I love talking about these things, so I might extend this series a little bit further, because there's a few more albums that I've been listening to recently that I would love to touch on before this is all over. I'm just trying to get through the ones that I had planned on doing first of all, so we'll see how that goes. Yeah, thanks for listening, thanks for watching. Mr. Running 1, 2, 3, 5, I'll see you guys later.